Hello and welcome back to the Domestic Cricket Podcast. Today I'm joined alongside Sam Fitzgibbon and my younger brother Ethan Bland, and it's been a very exciting day for all of us here behind the scenes. As a lot of you would already know, Cricket Australia has released yet another revamped schedule, this time for the Sheffield Shield and Marsh One Day Cup. Completely changed a lot of the matches. Some of them still the same, but due to coronavirus popping up in different various locations, there's been plenty of matches that have unfortunately had to have been moved. But we've still got a massive summer coming up. Obviously, a new development is the South Africa tour by the Australian men's team has been cancelled, which means pretty much the entire Test squad, other than David Warner and Pekoski, who are injured, have the ability to play in the Shield and One Day Cup. And Pat Cummins has been named captain of the New South Wales Blues in the One Day Cup. So it looks like he could be potentially the next Australian Test captain, taking over Tim Payne in a few seasons' time when he finishes up. But we're going to take a look at the Sheffield Shield fixtures as of now, the new fixtures. The draw has been condensed into just 8 rounds. They were trying to stick to 10 rounds, but it's only going to be 8 rounds this year. But the good thing is they're playing at various locations. All 6 states gets their chance to host home matches. And it all starts on the 17th of February at the SCG between New South Wales and Victoria. That game will be on Foxtel. There was plenty of questions whether Foxtel would keep broadcasting the matches, but it looks like they will. So Foxtel will have that match along with KO and Cricket Network. 17th to the 20th of February, New South Wales taking on Victoria there at the SCG. On the same day, the 17th, Tasmania take on Queensland, traditional rivals down at Blundstone. Both got great fast bowling attacks, so expect the ball to do a lot. And then the next match, Sam, do you want to take us through the next two?
Yep, so on the 29th of February we have Victoria men versus New South Wales men. I fucking hate this.
Do we cut this out?
Yes, we do.
3, 2, 1, action.
So on the 29th of February we have the Victorian Bushrangers versus the New South Wales Blues, and it's at the MCG.
Cricket back at the MCG, it's great. Unfortunately,
No, I'm gonna do that again.
It's not even at the right date. It's the 25th, not the 29th.
Okay.
3, 2, 1.
So on the 25th of February we have Victoria Bushrangers playing the New South Wales Blues at the MCG. So we've got cricket back at the MCG, but I believe it's behind closed doors.
Yeah,
So
it's unfortunate for the Victorian fans out there. But,
yeah. Is it Fox?
it is on
Yes.
Fox, another game on Foxtel.
Love to see it. The next game is on the same day, 25th February. Western Australia versus South Australia Redbacks at the Wacker.
And that game's not on Fox, but it will be live streaming the Cricket Network, which still has great coverage. That could be another interesting clash because South Australia really have to start winning games if they're any chance to make the top 2, which, they had that massive investigation into their whole cricket system, the whole association, fronted by Michael Hussey, and it hasn't really done too much. They've looked a lot better, but they still haven't managed to get a win on the board, and all 4 of their games are in Adelaide, so they really need to get a move on. Ethan, do you want to take us through the next 2?
On the 5th of March, you've got Victoria taking on the Tassie Tigers back at the MCG. Just on Cricket Network, so no Foxtel there. And on the 6th of March, you've got the South Australia Redbacks taking on my New South Wales Blues at Adelaide Oval.
That'll be a great clash as well. Usually Adelaide Oval matches are always batter friendly and they're usually high scoring, but obviously South Australia have a brilliant attack, as do New South Wales, especially for Test players back. But we could really be seeing the entire Test cartel, including Nathan Lyon, playing for New South Wales. And plus you got the likes of Smith, Warner, Sean Abbott will be playing as well, and Moses Henriquez. They're a stacked side, and I can't see them losing this. I mean, they have struggled in recent times in the Shield, even with their players back. They usually only have them for 2 games. They've won a few, but even back in 5 years ago, they still they managed to win 2014-15, but before that they haven't really won many Shields. So they're definitely due, and with all these players, I think it's their time to really say, look, we're still the best state. We've got the best players. But they've got to get a title here. They've got to show that. And on the same day as the South Australia Blues clash, at the Gabba, Queensland take on Western Australia, which is probably the best 2 bowling attacks, I would say. Maybe Tassie makes a good case there. Swing bowling, bounce the Gabba wicket. That's going to be an excellent match on the Cricket Network. And on the 15th of March, a little bit later, Queensland take on Victoria at Allan Border Field. Short boundaries, expect plenty of runs to be scored. That's 10 a.m. local time on the Cricket Network. Sam, take it away.
So on the 20th of March, we've got Caleb's. Oh, it's the Bland Showdown.
It is the Bland Showdown.
Tasmanian Tigers versus the New South Wales Blues at Bloodstone Arena in Hobart.
That'll be another good game. If New South Wales, they're talking about resting half their players, like they might play Cummings and Lyon, and then play Hazelwood and Stark in the next match. But if they manage to prove their fitness to be good enough and play that whole cartel, that's going to be a very tough task for the Tassie batting lineup, which recently hasn't really clicked. Obviously Ben McDermott's in the form of his life and making a call for a test debut, so hopefully he can continue to score runs. And then
3 days later, we've got Queensland Bulls taking on South Australia at Ian Healy Oval.
Yeah, you heard that. It'll be the 11th first class venue in Queensland, I believe. It's recently been done up. But 2 years ago, Bryce Street, who's now a mainstay in the Queensland Bulls lineup, scored 345 in the second 11 competition, which made shockwaves around the world, cricketing world. So it was at that venue, but it has been done up recently. It's the home of Queensland Cricket's youth programs, I believe. So it'll be great to see a new venue. It always is. Queensland take on South Australia, and then the 25th of March, Western Australia take on Victoria at the Wacker Grounds, and the 3rd of April, getting into April now, it's not even time for the final. New South Wales take on Queensland at probably my favourite ground in New South Wales, North Dalton Park. Fantastic facility. Cricket Illawarra and the Wollongong City Council do a great job, put on a real event. They have food stalls, kid area. They really do make an event out of it, and it's always great to go down there because you're not just going to another venue watching Shield cricket where you're lucky to get a printout team list. You're there, you get a program, and another thing this year is we probably will be seeing the introduction of tickets again, whether that's an online mobile ticket or whether we actually do get a printed ticket. With coronavirus, they do need to track people, so for all you very niche cricket lovers out there, tickets are hopefully back. I know at North Sydney Oval they are talking about bringing them back, so for all you ticket collectors like myself, it's very exciting news. And Ethan, take us away.
On the 3rd of April, you've got Victoria taking on South Australia at City Power Centre, St Kilda.
Another fantastic facility on the Cricket Network.
And that same day, you've got Tasmanian Tigers taking on WA at the Wacker.
So that'll be the last round of matches, all teams playing the same day. I would hope that the Shield competition is going to be really tight, where all 6 teams have a legitimate chance of making that final, which is on the 15th of April, live on Foxtel, and that will be a Foxtel exclusive coverage. So you'll have not better commentators, but you have the same commentators that you have on the Big Bash. So all those familiar names, and obviously more cameras around the ground, better quality. So it's always great. Unfortunately, we missed out in the final last year, so it'll be great to have that back. And that's the remaining Sheffield Shield fixtures. Stay tuned because, keep alert, because I would dare say that they are going to change once again unless there's no more cases of coronavirus and states keep their borders open. But we're now going to move on to the Marsh One Day Cup, which hasn't started yet, obviously, but they've pretty much completely changed this draw, which, you know, for us Sydney-siders, we're actually really looking forward to it, because we've got 3 games at the holy grail of one-day cricket. North Sydney Oval always gets a fantastic crowd, and we've even got a day-night match. We were going to have 2, but we do have a day-night clash, State of Origin clash, New South Wales, Queensland. Try and get to the game. It's on a Wednesday, I know, but try and fill the Doug Walters Hill. We really want to see a good crowd back at North Sydney Oval for a day-nighter. But it all kicks off very soon, 15th of February, North Sydney Oval, live on Foxtel on the Cricket Network and KO, of course. New South Wales taking on Victoria on the 15th. A week later, Tasmania take on Queensland at Blundstone Arena, 10am, Foxtel, Cricket Network and KO. Do you want to go through the next 2 matches, Sam?
Yep. So the next Western Australia versus South Australia on 2nd of March at the Wacker Ground. That's broadcasters on Foxtel, KO and Cricket Network. And the 4th of March we got South Australia versus New South Wales Blues at the Adelaide Oval. Not on Foxtel, I believe, but KO and Cricket Network.
So that's a very important match, because we haven't seen one-day cricket at the Adelaide Oval since about 2011. So the South Australia Cricket Association CEO was very excited in his announcement today. Day-nighter at the Adelaide Oval, you're looking to get hopefully 5,000, which will probably be the biggest crowd we've had for a one-day cup match since probably the 2016 final at North Sydney Oval. Whenever there was a final at North Sydney Oval, it gets pretty packed. So we haven't had that in a while, obviously. So that would be great just to see day-night cricket at Adelaide Oval. But unfortunately, not unfortunately, but strangely, it isn't on Foxtel. It's probably the biggest fixture of the tournament, and it's not on Foxtel. It is on the Cricket Network and KO. You can take us away the next 2 matches.
On the 10th of March, again at St Kilda, you've got Victoria taking on KO's Tassie Tigers, streamed on KO, Foxtel and Cricket Network. A day later, you got Queensland Bulls taking on WA at the Gabba, streamed on Foxtel, KO and Cricket Network again.
And then we move to the 12th of March, where South Australia host Tasmania at the City Power Centre in St Kilda. I really don't know why it's at St Kilda. I'm guessing because the teams will be hubbed there. I know Tasmania will be, so I guess South Australia are as well for that period of time. It's a shame. Could be another opportunity to have a match at the Adelaide Oval, but you know, any cricket's good cricket as far as I'm concerned in these times. Then the 14th of March, New South Wales take on WA, a Sunday game at North Sydney. Now, it's been a very long time since we've had a weekend game at North Sydney Oval. So expect a decent crowd, 10am start, 14th of March. That's probably going to be when most Sydney Junior Grand Finals are on the day before. So it will be the end of the cricket season, so maybe they'll celebrate going to this game. Hopefully we'll see a big crowd at this match, 10am, Foxtel, Cricket Network and KO. And then the 18th of March, Tasmania take on New South Wales at home at Blundstone Arena. Another match-up between us brothers. 10am, Cricket Network, Foxtel and KO.
And then on the 20th of March, we have Queensland Bulls versus Victoria at Allan Border Field in Brisbane. Broadcasted on Foxtel and Cricket Network. And we got 23rd of March is Western Australia versus Victoria at the Wacker Ground again, not on Foxtel but on the other networks.
And then the 28th of March, Queensland taking on South Australia, Allan Border Field again. Allan Border getting good work out, as it usually does, especially that time of the year with the Lions playing at Gabba, who Ethan's obviously a mad fan if you haven't seen the stickers on the back of the laptop as well. That'll be another interesting clash. And then the 31st of March, it says it's to be confirmed the venue, but Cricket New South Wales has confirmed it will be at North Sydney Oval, 2pm Wednesday, New South Wales Queensland Bulls, traditional rivals, traditional day-night one-day matches in Sydney. So it's great that they've kept that tradition. If you're watching this and you're from Sydney, please get out to it. It's going to be a fantastic night. It always is, always a great atmosphere, and it'd be great to really get a good crowd for a day-nighter again. Just to lift the spirits of all you domestic cricket lovers who have, struggled seeing home matches this year so far. And then the 8th of April, Victoria take on South Australia at the City Power Centre, 9:30 start. So a very early start. foxtelcricket.com.au network and KO Victoria versus South Australia there. The last match will be Western Australia versus Tasmania at the Wacker Ground, 9:30am local time, just on Cricket Network and KO. And then the final was originally penciled in for the 30th of April. They pushed that back to the 11th of April, which I think is only going to be a good thing because you're going to get more people interested because, 30th of April you're really, really into the AFL and NRL seasons. So hopefully some more interest for that. The 11th of April, obviously the home team hosts a match, and hopefully for our sakes they get a good crowd for it. Whoever's hosting, I'm sure they will, even though it's deep into the footy season. And yeah, that's the One Day Cup draw. As I said before, keep your eyes peeled because these fixtures are very flexible and they're likely to change in these times. Thanks for watching the video. Subscribe, like, share it around. Hope you're as excited as we are for the One Day Cup and the Sheffield Shield season's restarting, stacked with international players. Go out and get to a game if it's at your home state. Send us through some photos. We'd love to see how your experience is like at these games. Don't forget to tag us. We'll try and grow this channel even further to try and cover all domestic cricket lovers. So if you know anyone who loves their domestic cricket and hasn't followed or subscribed yet, let them know. Thanks for joining us, and yeah, happy domestic cricket times coming ahead.